Welcome to Retail Video 1. In this vlog, we inform you about important changes in the behavior of RetailVista. These are also called breaking changes. A change in behavior can be related to functionality, but sometimes also in the way data is presented.
A first important change has to do with an improvement in the security of RetailVista. A lot of software nowadays enforces the use of 2FA, which is also called two-factor authorization. You not only log in with a username and a password, but you also have to provide an additional authorization code via an authenticator on your phone. Although we do support 2FA, we have not chosen to enforce 2FA for various reasons. Instead, we have made sure that login into RetailVista is only possible within the store by default. We do this with help of a field allowed login locations in user maintenance. That field is now a mandatory field, and we have changed all users where this field was empty to only allow a login within the store. If this field does contain a choice, we have not changed that choice. And to emphasize, it's still possible to allow certain users to log in from outside the store as well, simply by changing that allowed login locations field value to enable login inside and outside the store. To determine what the store location is, we use the IP address of the store. You can also request the IP address of your store by yourself by going to a website such as www.mupaddress.com. You can see the IP address of my location here. You can enter this IP address at Company Maintenance in the tab IP address under Internal IP addresses. If this field is empty, RetailVista will use the IP address of a user as the IP address of your store when a user logs in for the first time and saves that IP address to the company internal IP addresses. If you have multiple stores in RetailVista, you will have to manually add the IP addresses of the extra stores to your company once. We'll take an even deeper look at RetailVista's security capabilities in another retail video. In product maintenance, we have tried to improve the distinction between set products and collections. We used to call set products related products, but we didn't think that name was clear enough. One key difference between set items and collections is that set items are on the sale side, while collection items are on the purchase side. An example of a set item is the combination of a table, 4 chairs, and a parasol. A set of items has a virtual stock calculated by RetailVista. We look at the parts of a set and how many set items we can still put together from that stock. The virtual stock is also shared with web shops. If a part of a set is sold separately, the virtual set stock of all set products where the item is part of will be automatically recalculated. When selling a set product, the turnover is divided over the parts of the set pro rata and the stock of the set parts is written off. An example of a collection product is a pottery collection. This item has a separate collection type designation in the Sales tab, and a collection item itself never has stock on itself. In the purchase information of this product, other purchase data is linked to the collection product via a common collection identifier barcode. When RetailVista receives a collection product, the stock of all the linked collection products is booked. The collection product itself has a received quantity and no stock. We hope that by changing the name of set items and this explanation, the difference between set items and collections has become clearer. In goods in, we have improved the distinction between capturing the EDI goods in message and the optional packing slip verification check that follows. We used to call the packing slip check the warehouse count, but in practice a packing slip check often happens on the shop floor when unpacking a pallet with received items. You will see this name change in the home page of Goods In. In the Goods In maintenance, we have also created new fields with which you can set whether a packing slip verification is desired, and whether this check has been carried out and by whom. With each supplier you can now set whether a Goods In verification is desired. You can choose to always check, randomly, never, or manually. If you choose random here, RetailVista will sometimes ask for a check. When choosing manual, you decide in Goods In maintenance whether you want to have a check carried out. And in the Goods In search screen you can search for received goods that need to be checked but have not yet been checked. In RetailVista Mobile you will also see this changed name for the Goods In as Goods In and Packing Slip Verification. RetailVista has the option for marked stock. We used to call this allocated stock, but that term was very technical. For that reason we have renamed allocated stock to marked stock. With marked stock you can mark part of your stock and thereby reduce your free stock. An example of marked stock is the storage of Christmas items. You do have that stock, but it will not be sellable until the start of the season. Another example of highlighted stock are showroom items, bee stock, and pot plant combinations. We are going to post a separate retail video about stock. In the stock homepage, we have moved and renamed a number of menu choices. Especially with inventory tasks we have made a number of changes. For example, the menu option Process Stocktaking Data in the Stock Tasks menu has been moved to the Stocktaking Tasks menu and is now called Stocktaking to Stock. The menu option, Set Stock to Zero, that was previously in the menu Stock Bulk Transactions menu has also been moved to the Stocktaking Tasks menu and is now called Non-Stocktaking Stock to Zero. And for those who didn't notice in our previous release, it is now also possible to import a warehouse or part of your warehouse to Stocktakes, if you don't want to count that warehouse or parts of it. We hope this retail video has informed you well about the most important changes in the RetailVista 2026 update. In the coming weeks, we will post a number of additional retail videos in which we will discuss useful new features in this update. At the bottom of this retail video you will find a link to the release documentation with everything that is new and changed in the RetailVista 2026 update. You will also find links to documentation on inventory, stock and marked stock. Thanks for watching.